Hey guys, and welcome to Photo Editing 101, Chapter 7. Now, in this chapter, we're going to be focusing on our image we shot with Taylor in some palm trees. So the whole idea behind this shoot was the idea of playing with shadows and light. So anytime you have a hard light source that you're photographing, in this case, we're photographing in natural light. So it was basically the sun in the middle of the day. This is a really great opportunity to start playing around with shadows. So finding an object that's going to cast interesting shadows like blinds or trees and things like that, in this case we're using a palm, you can use those shadows across your subject to create a little bit more interest. For this photograph, we're shooting completely in natural light, and we're shooting with an 85mm 1.2 lens at 1.2. Now, when you're shooting at f1.2, you're going to have a very shallow depth of field, which means that everything in front or behind your subject is going to be totally out of focus. And where this is actually being shot on an 85-1.2 now, so you can see everything behind me is totally out of focus. So that's the whole idea. We wanted to bring more attention to our subject and also play around with the differences between highlight and shadow. Now, because we're shooting at 1.2, that's letting a ton of light in, so we had to use a very fast shutter speed in order to get a proper exposure. In this case, most of these images are shot at 1/8,000th of a second. Now, in these photographs, we have a pretty big contrast between the highlights and the shadows. The highlights are pretty light and the shadows are pretty dark. Now, in Lightroom, we're going to show you how to adjust both your highlights and shadows. We're going to get those both back in a similar range, which is going to give us basically more definition in our photograph. We're also going to show you a few techniques on creative coloring and adding style to your photographs. All right, guys, we got a great tutorial. Let's jump into Lightroom.